See, I don't quite know how to do this. There's a warning on this pack. It says smoking causes lung cancer. The warning is quite clear. It's very bold. Why do some people still ignore this warning? I have never smoked a day in my life. Neither do I drink. All over the world, hundreds of millions smoke even though they know smoking is dangerous to their health. They ignore the conspicuous warning mandated by most governments to be boldly written on cigarette packs. Is this the only warning we ignore? All around us, we have, see, and hear warnings which we mostly ignore. Warnings on speed, food, health, speech, marriage, sex, drug, the weather, women, money, power, etc. We mostly ignore them all. Life is filled with warnings so that we may avoid disaster. We are warned against bad choices and their bad consequences, and it's our prerogative to either heed the warning or ignore it. Warnings are given in advance of our meeting the bad consequences from bad choices in order to give us a chance to change our choices and avoid the bad consequences and instead experience good consequences. Our conscience warns us in advance of wrong thoughts and actions but has no power after its warning to stop us from fulfilling our will. I read somewhere that a warning is an act of mercy shown by someone who doesn't want to see us experience the suffering that is certain to be brought on by our choices. A warning is a great arresting statement of God's, inspired by His love and patience. God warns, God sent His word. The devil threatens. A warning is given in advance of the disaster while there's still time to change our choice, or it can be considered a warning. We are warned in advance. People who ignore warnings say they will chance it and take the risk. They think the warning might be wrong, that it doesn't apply to them, and maybe the person who gave the warning is jealous or doesn't know what he or she is saying. This is why many people are suffering in some marriages today, what they were warned about. This is why some have diabetes, kidney or liver failure, even though they were warned in advance. This is why many have died from overspeeding, even though the speed limits were boldly displayed. This is why Nigerians are suffering under President Buhari, even though they were warned he will be a disaster. What warning are you ignoring today? What warning is staring you in the face? Do you know the Bible is filled with warnings and all life-saving? As the prophets in the Old Testament warned Israel and the Gentile nations of God's judgment, this is the same way the preacher today is to warn the people. Unlike the prophets of old, if the preacher doesn't warn the people, their blood will be on his hands. In Ezekiel 3:17 and 18, it says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, Thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. This is why I am constrained to speak. This is why I must speak. There is a penalty for silence. Apostle Paul, while in Miletus, sent for the elders of the church in Ephesus, and said to them, Also of your own selves shall men arise, speaking perverse things, to draw away disciples after them. Therefore, watch and remember that by the space of 3 years, I cease not to warn everyone night and day with tears. This is exactly how I feel today about what I see happening around me. Several years ago, I started warning family and friends about what I saw about to unfold in Nigeria. I told them I saw terrorists taking over our streets and war breaking out. Some called me a prophet of doom. I was not perturbed. I harassed our government ceaselessly and used Sunday nuggets to speak to the people about the need for change to start from self. I believe that if we aggregate our individual efforts towards positive change, our society will be better. I have daily advocated on the need for us to live a life of love. Love for self, love for others, love for country. This is what Christ preached. This is the essence of humanity. Outside of love, society will collapse. This is what we now see around us. As a people, we are desensitized to the sufferings of others. We see misery, sorrow, and death all around us, and nobody cares. The poor have been abandoned to living a life of hell on earth. Nobody cares. By the way, if you can afford to watch this, you are not poor. So all those who see this message and now send me rude messages to say they are poor, but I'm not doing anything to help them, please stop it. If you see poverty, you can't claim it. You can never identify with the suffering of real poverty. It is real. It is all around us. Tens of millions around us are in this category, and they have nobody to help them. Open your eyes and see what's going on around you today. Lack of love has destroyed our society. Lack of love is why our leaders don't care. Lack of love is why we don't care for each other. We have made money our God and will do anything for money. Anything. This includes selling human parts, selling our bodies, fraud, kidnapping, corruption, demanding bribes, cheating, etc. Our society is failing or has failed, and we're all warned. The warning signs are still staring at us today. Those who we failed to love are those who now hate us. We are reaping what we sowed. You can ignore the poor and destitute all you like, but just know that God is in their midst and He cares about them. If you want to find God, go in the midst of the poor. If you want to see an absence of God, continue neglecting the poor. The poor and love go hand in hand. God is love. Do you now get it? Please wake up today and save our society. Your every action matters to our society. Stop the worship of money and start spreading love. Money has a cost, but love is free. Love is free. Don't let Nigeria burn to the ground before you realize you have a role to play in saving your world. There's one more warning we are all ignoring. Christ is coming soon. God bless you all.